What's up, everybody? First and foremost, happy May the 4th to you all, and to celebrate with my second video here of the day, I'm going to go over the ACOLYTE preview that was attached to the Phantom Menace re-release with a bonus review for the movie at the end. So with all that out of the way, let the celebrations begin. I'm going to start here talking about the scene they showed us from the ACOLYTE, then I'll finish it up with my mini review of the Phantom Menace. We didn't really get to see much of the ACOLYTE that the public hasn't already seen from the trailer. They showed us the full fight scene, or about 5 minutes of it. Maybe it kept going after what we saw, I'm not sure, between Carrie Ann Moss's character and Amanda Stanberg's. Now, as short as it was, I think it offered decent insight into the show. If you're someone like me who's kind of followed the rumors and followed the show as we near its release, and we hear Moss as who trained Stanberg, and it seems to me she knew her, which brought my mind right to that rumor about Stanberg playing twins, one good, one evil. This was also kind of brought up by the creator herself, Leslie Headland, when she referred to the story of the show by saying it's kind of like Frozen meets Kill Bill. Again, tied to the twins rumor with the sister element from Frozen with the separated sisters. In this case, in the Acolyte, it would be one was taken by the Jedi and one was left behind, if I'm remembering the rumor correctly, and obviously the revenge element from Kill Bill. If that's what the show is, I might just love it, but of course, it has to execute on those ideas. The one thing for certain, at least with this scene, is the action does look pretty good. A lot of the Jediing between the two and Moss's lightsaber, it actually looks decent, and you can still tell it's the new pre-lit ones Disney's been using, which I've never really been a fan of, but it is a bit better here, I think, and especially, having watched The Phantom Menace literally right before I saw this clip, I think maybe I would have noticed if it was a bigger difference, but it seems like they're getting better and it's getting towards more of a middle ground between the new stuff and how George did it. I do have one fear with them, however, and it's that I just don't want them to overuse slow motion. It's not even like I'm sitting here like, oh, that's not a Star Wars thing. I don't really care about that. It's just, I don't like when it's used a ton. I think it dampens the impact when it's used really well. Finally, the score was really good over this scene. I didn't get a chance to look up who the composer of the series is, but it was very John Williams-esque, also having a twist and kind of its own identity, much like Kevin Kiner's scores for Dave Filoni's work have had. And I'm not sure he's going to be Kevin Kiner yet, but whoever scored this did a good job with the score. I'm hoping it's that good throughout the whole series too, because it would be a huge boost for it. Because I love me a good Star Wars score. All right, before we get into my brief review of the Phantom Menace, I wanted to thank you for joining me here celebrating May the 4th or whenever you're watching the video. I'd appreciate it a ton if you showed some holiday spirit and subscribed to the channel as I push for 1,000, and I'm nearing it on it. Thank you once again for stopping by the Nerdverse. Now let's get back to the video. I'm going to keep it pretty brief here with this review, just hitting on a couple things that stand out to me after every rewatch, and they did this time too, and now it's my second time seeing it in theaters and having an absolute blast. First off, I always think as a credits roll that this is just like a big culmination of George Lucas having fun and, well, being George Lucas. Now, love that or hate it, that's up to you, but I love it, and it's one of the reasons I loved it when I saw this movie as a kid, and it's definitely still the reason I love it all these years later. But I think we can all agree that John Williams cooked, as usual, with this score. I mean, just Duel of the Fates alone could carry this entire movie by itself, and I was giddy like a kid on a Christmas morning when it hit in theaters. It was amazing, but I mean, the droid invasion is amazing, same with Qui-Gon's Noble End, and I think the rest are too, but that's just me, and I think those are the ones that are kind of universally agreeable that they're great in this score. The fight scenes are also unmatched still, probably only by Revenge of the Sith, and I mean, all those prequel fights are amazing thanks to the great Nick Gillard. The one thing I will say though is that some of the effects and backgrounds don't hold up as well on the big screen, but that's not to take away how impressive they were back in '99. They're not so bad, that I couldn't watch certain scenes or anything like that, and there are some scenes like the final fight with Maul, I think holds up really well, and the pod race is obviously still one of the most iconic scenes in all of Star Wars. So it's not that they all don't hold up. Some of them some of them do hold up incredibly well. And so that'll do it for my May the 4th celebration. I hope all of you were able to get out to a theater this weekend to see either just The Phantom Menace or, if you were lucky enough, the full marathon, and I hope you had a blast celebrating Star Wars this weekend. Let me know what the Acolyte needs to do to get you on board down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.